I grew up at 222, check it out. Sometime 222, big white Victorian.
Okay, I call the meeting to order of the Historical Committee of the City of Livingston. First order of business is the approval of minutes. Has
Right,
everybody gotten their minutes? We have some substantial minutes this time.
Tom,
Yes,
do you want to roll call? Can we do roll call real quick?
good idea.
Chair Blue Rock,
I am here.
Jack,
Yes, present.
Vice Chair Gibson,
Yes,
and Eli.
Present.
Okay, we have 4 out of 5. Kristen is not here, so we do have a quorum. Now we can go to minutes.
Okay, any comments on the minutes?
I didn't leave anything out because it took a while.
I think you did a fine job.
yeah.
I no longer have an intern, so that was quite the minute typing up.
Wow.
It was a substantial set of minutes, but I think it represented what was said fairly well.
That's why I wanted to make the details all in there.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't say absolutely everything, and we do have a recording, but I think that, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion that we approved the minutes from last month.
Okay,
I
Gibson?
second.
nice second.
Okay, call the question. Are the all approve, say aye.
I,
Aye.
All disapprove, say no. The
So
minute,
Tom, you can't actually vote on the minutes because you weren't at the meeting. But I'll record it as 3, the motion passed 3-0.
okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, moving right along, we have a design review for 114 West Lewis Street. Painted wall sign and door logo. Carry on, Jennifer.
I have a question about that before we go any further.
Okay,
Should that not say a wall sign, door logo, and mural? Because I'm assuming in the alley is going to be considered a mural.
Sure, yes, I will adjust that wall sign, door logo, and wall mural. Thanks. That will
Thank
be
you.
reflected in the minutes from the meeting.
Thank you.
okay. Do we,
Okay, can you, let's see, I will pull this up and then, to share. I don't have anybody online, but just in case somebody pops in. Also, so they can take a look at it from the room. This is, you guys all got the, kind of the description of what, the applicant wanted to do.
Yep.
Colin Fraser, he is here, so I'll let him talk or answer questions that you have. But yeah, as he said, it kind of harkens back to the, in the past when merchants kind of, advertised by putting the advertisement on their wall. So that's kind of his thought behind this. This is the front. This is the old, jewelry.
Tom's Jewelers.
store. Yeah, Tom's Jewelers. So I think it's kind of funny that they're calling it the Gem, since it was a jewelry store for so long.
oh, you did that because it was.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you'd even known that, so that's pretty cool. He said he did. That's why they're calling it the Gym. So, yeah, there it is. And that would be the wall mural, the sign. As I believe his, narrative said, once they kind of get up and running, they may come back for other, exterior improvements, but for now, and he's aware that he will need to come back in front of you for those to get them approved before he does them, but for now, we're just talking about the door logo, this, and the mural on the side. And so I guess, do you have anything you want to say, or do you want to just see if they have any questions, or?
I think I've said everything. I'm happy to answer questions or clarify for anyone. Most of what I wanted to say I said in the application here. This is an homage to to the jewelry store that existed before it, and also I think to the historical precedent that's set by sign and wall painting to advertise one's business in town. And so I feel like this block has been neglected in recent years. And I think part of the intention here is to bring some liveliness to the graphic world of this block and to announce that there's sort of a cute, fun new place to stop in as you wander around Livingston, and to get you off of, you know, Second and Main and Calendar and off onto this side of the block. So that alley space for me is a great visual kind of call into down the block into the space. So,
I have two questions. One for Jennifer. Does this meet all our sign ordinance criteria?
think so. Because the wall mural is not a sign. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I just want to know if it's all according to code.
Yes, I
Okay,
will.
we're not asking for any variances or anything.
No,
Okay. Yeah, what are you planning on doing there? What kind of a business are you planning on running? Why don't you describe that for a sec?
should I stand up here?
Sure.
So this is gonna be, we're calling this the Gem Neighborhood Cafe and Grocery. So this will be a place that serves coffee, acts as the third space for people to hang out in. There'll be some grab and go sandwichy kind of items. We're still working on the menu. Things will be prepared offsite. There's not an industrial kitchen here. And then there will also be a small, it's not a huge building, so there'll be a small, about a third of the square footage is gonna be grocery items. So the idea being things that you might otherwise have to go over the hill to get, or just things that if you're walking around the neighborhood that you might want to pick up. So you're headed home, you don't have to go to the grocery store, you grab some pasta sauce, you ran out of toilet paper, maybe that's available. There's coffee filters that I like that I can't get anywhere in Livingston for whatever reason, because they're special shape. I just want to have those there, these kinds of things.
So these will be more specialty. These would be more specialty items.
Could be specialty items, but I think having some, like, I use toilet paper as the example, I'm not sure what else will be there, we haven't finalized the list, but something like toilet paper that maybe just you're walking your car and realize that you forgot that, you don't wanna have to drive somewhere, you can just grab it.
it could be special toilet paper.
Yeah, special toilet paper, special toilet paper.
There's a place in the world for that. I mean, you can get some minor grocery items like a carton of milk or a dozen eggs at the office around the corner if they're open. But other than that, there's not a lot of things to, and because I live around the corner, I'll be happy to see you there.
Yeah, we wanted to act as sort of a complement, but not a competition to some of the stuff that's going on at the Gourmet Cellar, the new Food Works that's downtown, and then thinking about like Woods Rose, it's not quite walkable to there, but similar in size, but we want to offer complementary items rather than trying to overlap those items.
Yeah, and you could play with that as you go along, but mainly as it'll be another place to get a nice cup of coffee
That's our hope.
and a pastry or something.
Yeah.
I think Lindy
Um,
has a.
Is that, did you consider any color? It's all white.
We thought about color, but there's something about the existing signage around town that's faded that I didn't want to make it too vibrant. It felt like, I'm also sort of walking a line. I feel like this is kind of graphically vibrant enough that I didn't want to make it, you know, hot pink or something that would be too razzle dazzle.
Oh, God, no.
There's something that sort of like fits into the existing architecture, I feel like, with white. And my hope is that it begins to patina relatively quickly so that it doesn't look so bright. It sort of like begins to fade, like fit into the brick of the building and feel like it, you know, over the course of the years that it feel like it's been for a while.
You could always start with a more muted color.
That's
And
true.
white's pretty bright when you put it up. That's my only point.
Lindy, did you have a question?
Thank you. Yes. Are you gonna have like little tables where people can stay and a snack bar?
Yes.
Will you have a snack bar?
What do you mean
Or
by
not.
snack bar?
Just a long table that's like along the wall where people get coffee and face the wall.
Yeah,
Us?
there's gonna be a built-in bench along one side with little two top tables, so you can push them
Oh,
together. you
okay,
can sit with
two
friends,
tops, yeah, okay, yeah, I understand,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the idea being that you come in, have a coffee with a friend kind of thing.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the extent of your business will be only the old Tom's Jewelers shop.
Correct.
Because I know you have a connection with the space next door.
Yeah, I mean, John maybe owns the building next door and, maybe someday he'll wanna let us use it, but, for right now, that's not in the current plan. But change it
Okay.
to doing architectural changes.
Well, I don't. Any other comments?
Not in the room.
I have, can I hear a motion for approval?
I Make a motion that we approve the plan as indicated.
Okay, did you hear that?
I did.
Motion to approve?
Do we have a second?
I second it.
Eli seconds.
Okay, call the question. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition? Passes.
Jack, did you say aye? I didn't.
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so it passes unanimously. Congratulations. I hope you're very successful.
Thank you, appreciate the support of the committee.
Okay,
Great. I will just FYI, this is not going to need a building permit because you're not putting anything up, so I would just recommend a little off of the historic stuff, but just make sure that you have talked to, well, I guess you're not gonna be adding a new address, you're gonna be using the same address, so, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be covered during your inspection, so.
Great.
when do you plan to open? When is your,
So that's the real needle in my ribs. I keep saying 3 weeks, so 3 weeks from now. But that could be 3 weeks from 3 weeks from now, so.
well, we know how that goes.
Yeah, renovating and start building.
At least you have at least you have a target.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one recommendation. Having been a painter for the city of Livingston for the past 6 years, we have a struggle with graffiti going on. If you want to buy some anti-graffiti paint and cover the side alley wall, I highly recommend it because it'll be a target. I promise, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry to say that because of Livingston, but you'll want to brush some anti-graffiti paint
Okay.
over that.
Is that colored?
No, it's a clear.
Clear. Okay.
Mhm. It's around town. A lot of people don't know where it is or what it is, but
Okay.
having worked for the city, I know that that's
Do
what
you-
we have, and that's what you'll want to do.
Do you paint the signage first and then put that on top of it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a top coat.
Yep, okay, great,
Mhm.
thank you.
And if you need to find out where to get it, just go to the Civic Center and talk to Mike. He's our park and rec director,
Okay.
and we've got it in the vault there.
Okay.
And he'll show you what it is.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Good recommendation.
Okay. Moving right along, is there any old business? Okay. Is there, I don't see any public for public comments, but is there anyone online? Do we have any public comment?
No, we do not.
Any general board comments?
I wondered if we heard anything further about the industrial towel building.
We have not. I have not heard from them since I provided them with basically confirmed what your decision was. Because I think Chris may have left, actually. I think he had to go somewhere, so I think he may have left before you made your decision, but I confirmed that for them. And there is an appeal period. We have notified, I mean, they're aware of when that ends, and it's pretty soon. So, but we haven't heard anything else, so.
Well, it's pretty
They
soon.
could appeal that to the commission, correct?
They could, but there is a time frame on that appeal, and I think it's coming up pretty soon.
Like it's a 1 month appeal.
I think it's like
Window or
30 days, I forget. I had sent them all the information. I'd
Oh,
sent
it's
them. the
Pretty
code.
close to now.
Yeah,
I've
Yeah.
actually watched the commission agendas and it hasn't shown up yet,
it's
so.
not coming out. It's not gonna be on next week's either, so.
So it looks like that probably ran out, so we'll just see what they do next.
Yep.
I think we made it clear that they need to address that building rather than just get rid of it. And also some of the buildings that are around the other edges besides the Clark Street frontage. So we'll see what they do.
Yep.
Um, any other board comments?
Not in the room.
Hearing none, I would move adjournment.
Are there any comments from the city?
No. I have none.
I
I-
second.
how- Oh, I know what you can talk. What are your, you sat in, the other thing I missed, boy, I just took a vacation at exactly the wrong time. I was sitting on the runway when that meeting was going on, so I couldn't turn my phone on, but I listened to the last meeting, and so I heard the whole discussion. Had, what was your impression of the public meetings that were held in regard to the zoning update?
I mean, there wasn't much discussion because it's state mandated, so city doesn't really have a choice. It's already law. We're just updating our code to comply with the state law.
But there was a week of input from the public and
Oh, you update. I'm sorry. I thought you meant the code thing. No, and I just real quick, because it's not, I mean, we can talk offline if you want to know more about it, but yeah, we had open houses, or we had an open house, we had the focus groups, and the organizer, our STJ, the consultant, is going to be sending out the minutes, if you will, from those discussions to each group to make sure they've captured everything. They're also compiling all the information, or the information that they got from the open house. The survey is still open. We have extended the deadline to fill out that initial survey online until December 15th. I would just encourage you all to please take, it literally takes like 3 minutes. It's not like the other survey that was out, but it's the park survey, which had a lot more to go over. It's a very quick survey. You can, I don't know if it's still up there. Yeah, it is. There's a QR code right there. You can scan if anybody wants to do that, and it'll take you to the website. There's some more outreach we're doing. We're gonna be working with SCJ again to maybe do something like some online interactive type engagement, just to kind of try to get more inputs. They had really good responses so far to the survey. I think they were almost up to 200 when I checked with them last week, which for a zoning survey is, I feel like, pretty good. And then we're gonna try to engage some of the students, hopefully in the next month or two as well. But
Students at the high school?
Yeah, yeah, Caitlin Schiller, who is one of our land use board members, put me in touch with a couple of their teachers, and we're hoping to maybe bring some of those exhibit boards that we use for the open house over there and have them kind of participate in that. And then I know City Manager Gager was over at the high school talking to a civics class a couple weeks ago, and I printed out some of those flyers with the QR code, asking them to take the survey. So I think some of them might have done it after that class. That would have been included in the 200 or so.
So they'll be publishing a summary of what they think they learned and the results of all of this.
So what they will do is they're not gonna necessarily, that's not gonna be like a public, like, here's the stuff we discussed in the focus groups. The focus groups were intended to inform their recommended updates to the code. And so I think that the next thing we're gonna see publicly is going to be part of what we required of them, for their contract, is to come up with the updates that they're proposing to make to our code. And then it kind of evaluate each one of those updates and what is the impact on this gonna be? Like, is it going to increase density? Is it going to, so they kind of have to evaluate kind of what the impacts of those code updates will be before we actually bring it forward. Because that
Well,
may be,
But they will be proposing specific updates
they will, but
with,
before
with,
they,
with,
yes.
with some analysis of the impact of those.
Yes. And I expect that will probably be out, sometime in this early spring, maybe February or March.
Will there be another round of public discussions?
There's gonna be plenty of opportunities for public, input for this, so they are going to bring, I said, some of this is gonna go back to the focus groups, that's sort of the part of the focus group, to have them look at specific parts of the code. It's a lot for one group to look at all of it,
No.
so that's why we kind of split them up. But they're probably gonna do, another survey or two. It'll come before, I believe, probably the land use board, maybe preliminary, that document about kind of what our recommendations are here, the impacts. I anticipate that's gonna go before the land use board for some feedback, where they go in and then say, okay, we're gonna move forward with these updates, we're not gonna move forward with these, or we're gonna modify what we have in here. So yeah, but I think we're probably not gonna see anything much public-wise, probably through January. They have a lot of, I wanna say, the person on their team that was taking notes from those focus group meetings took like 18 or 19 pages of like really small handwritten notes, so they have a lot of information.
You know, if they produce anything, any input, could this group get copies of it?
So this group could get copies of anything that is available to the public. So
And
when
could-
it's available to the public, I can let y'all know. If you all are subscribed to the city manager's newsletter, it would also go up there. And then we'll also put that on our project page on the city website. If you go to the city website at the top, there's like the code update banner. You can click on that. There's also like the parks update, our parks plan update banner. So anytime we have something new that goes out to the public, we post it there. And I usually try to remember to go out to like land use board and you, like I do with the downtown home, to say, here, this is ready, but, yeah, anything internal, I don't think that's possible.
So you don't expect to see anything from them that would be publicly available? So your internal stuff would just be between you and the consultant?
Yeah, or the focus groups. Again, that's why
Or
we
the
have
focus
the
groups.
focus groups. Yeah, they're gonna be used, they're sort of individual steering committees, I guess, if you wanna look at it that way. Looking at different areas of the code update. So we narrowed it down. I think we had started with 5 and then we had a way to combine them. So it was like housing, transportation and human services was one area. Preservation and conservation was another area. The development community was another one. And I'm forgetting another big one and I feel pretty, did I only need 3? Business development, that was the 4th.
Was,
So, but and so the focus groups are set, the same people that were in those meetings for 2 hours and met with the consultants will remain the focus group, throughout the code update.
so if you weren't at that first meeting, you're out of the picture. I was gonna be in one of those focus groups and couldn't make it, but
Yeah, again, we can talk offline about this just because it's not
yeah,
really.
I would, okay,
relevant to
that'd be
this,
fine.
But we're not changing the focus groups up, that they really wanted them to be the first one in person. So there's gonna be plenty of opportunities for input and providing comments. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. There's gonna be a lot of that.
Okay. And that won't be happening for say a month or 2.
I don't foresee any sort of more public input or information out there for the public to review for, at least a couple months.
Okay. Well, thanks for the update.
Mhm.
All right, any other comments? Any other items of interest or things people want to comment on?
Not in the room.
All right, do I hear a motion I could just adjourn the meeting,
You
can't I?
can just adjourn the meeting. It's 3:58.
3:58. Nice half-hour meeting, people.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
all right, see you later.
Thanks, everyone.